Hi everyone, this is Lena. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be making some little pumpkins using plaster of Paris. You've probably seen this done before, but I show you how I make my own, and it's really quite simple. I'm just going to pour about 12 scoops of the plaster of Paris powder into a cup, plastic container, and then I'm just going to add maybe just a few drops of water in there. You want it sort of a fine consistency, not too thick, not too thin. And then what you want to do is get yourself some tights and just cut the toe bit out, leave quite a bit of a length, and then we're just going to pour the mixture into that. So I'm going to use this glass cup to stretch my tights over, and it makes it easier to pour my plaster of Paris into there. And I will be making 3 of these mixtures, and then as you can see, I've left a bit of the length of these tights, and I'm just squeezing the water down so it pours out through the holes of the stockings, and you're going to repeat that process all the time. Now, one of my first mistakes is I should have used some gloves. That's the first step, because you really are going to get messy and wear an apron or wear some old clothing. It does tend to splash everywhere as you're squeezing the mixture out and as you're mixing. So it's quite messy, but it's also quite fun as well. But my biggest tip is to really wear gloves, because you'll be forever washing your hands, and it tends to leave this residue on your hands and it dries your hands out. So I would highly recommend that you use some latex gloves for this process. So once your last cup mixture, which is the 3rd cup, has been poured into the tights, and you've squeezed all the excess water out, you're going to get some rubber bands, or you can use some twine, but I found it easier with the rubber bands. And I also tied the knot into the stocking at the top, and then I'm just wrapping some rubber bands. I used about 3 to do this crisscross to give it that pumpkin effect. And this is where it really splashes everywhere as the rubber band bounces back at you. I would have taken a photo of myself covered in all this plaster of Paris, but I dared not. So once I was happy with how my pumpkin was, this is my second mistake, which was I let it sort of dry out on top of the cup. Don't do that. Let it sit on the floor, because it's just going to create more work for you, because it will sink to the bottom, as you can see here. As I'm removing the stocking from the dried out plaster of Paris, I will show you the bottom, how it came out, because I let my pumpkin sit on top of a glass, and what happens, it creates a little bulge at the bottom. But what I did is I had a feeling this was going to happen, so I removed the stocking while the pumpkin was still a little bit damp, while the plaster of Paris was still a little bit wet and a little bit soft, and it was quite easy to remove the excess plaster of Paris with a box knife and just shave everything off. And there was no wastage, as all the residue I reused for my second pumpkin. So what I suggest you do is, once your pumpkin is ready to dry out, just leave it flat on a flat surface rather than a cup. So now my pumpkin is all dried out. It literally just took 2 to 3 hours to dry out. That's if you've squeezed all the excess water out completely. I left some plaster of Paris dry out to a softish consistency, like a clay consistency, and I molded some little stems, but I found this to be a little bit awkward because the sort of clay was a little bit soft and too bendy. It kept limping over. So what I did in the end was I just used some air dry clay to create my little stems for my pumpkin, and I literally just glued them down with some very strong glue, and this is how they turned out. Now I'm just going to leave them as is. I will give them a coat of clear wax later, and until I decide what I'm going to do with them, but at the moment I'm just enjoying them being just plain white for now, until something comes into my mind and I decide to change the look of them. But these are really cute and super easy. The plaster of Paris only cost me €3, which is next to nothing. So maybe pop into your hardware store and get some plaster of Paris and try this on the bigger scale. The more plaster of Paris you pour into the stockings, the bigger the pumpkins. So it depends entirely up to you what size of pumpkins you want to make. But look how cute they came out, and they were really simple to make, just a little bit messy, and hopefully you'll learn from my mistakes and create something beautiful as this. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week from Lena's Home Creation. I'll see you soon. Bye.
To like sail away, I just don't wanna care. Can you be here and I'm good alone? I'll be okay with you like a
Had to quickly come back on and ask, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit that notification bell so you're next aware when I upload a video, and become a family of Lena's Home Creation and share my craft groups with your friends and family. And I'll see you soon next week. Bye. Thanks for watching.
I don't wanna care. Just be here and I'm good alone. I'll be okay, miss you like an old friend. Too scared now, thinking I should call up. I'm not. I think it's hard how we always wait another day. How we watch things that can't just walk away. Let's live down by the water, watch it come and go home. I wish